Hey guys, it's Chris, and just FYI, if you're looking for a tutorial on how to lower the Type R, I can show you how to do the rear, but I can't show you how to do the front. Unfortunately, I couldn't figure it out, so it's kind of loud out here. Let's go inside. Unfortunately, I couldn't figure out how to install lowering springs on this car because it's a more complex system compared to the FK7. There's a lot more pieces that need to be removed in the front, and it's just too complex for me. I'm stupid, so I failed you guys by skipping the front, but the rears were super easy. I can do it in my sleep pretty much. So this is what the car looks like on its stock height, and as you can see, there is a bit of a wheel gap right here. Like, I can fit 2.5 fingers, actually I can fit 3 fingers on the rear, whereas on the front I can fit 2 fingers. So the goal that I have in mind is to at least eliminate some of that wheel gap, because now that we downsized on the wheel, now there is a slight wheel gap on the front and the rear of the car, especially the rear of this car. So what I bought was some Eibach springs. I actually got the same ones that I purchased that I have on the FK7. It only lowered it by 1 inch. I'm not looking to get anything too extreme. Even if I put my stock wheels on, I'm not gonna have any issues with rubbing or, you know, being too low. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that so that we can see the difference, whether or not it's worth it to lower the car with these springs on 18-inch wheels. So I've already jacked the car up and put jack stands on it. So the one thing that I want to share with you guys is there's actually a jack point right here next to the exhaust. I then went ahead and put my jack stands on, so they're on both sides. So if ever any of these 2 floor jacks fail, I'll have my jack stands to support the car's weight. This is the easiest part of the whole installation, but yeah, I'm gonna be taking the wheel off. Dang it, I didn't get this on video, but what I did was I took off this bolt right here. Take that off first, take this off next, and then you're gonna want to take a hammer or a mallet and just hammer this down, and your spring should release. So that is the stock spring, and now we can put in the new Eibach spring. So here is a comparison between the 2 springs. As you can see, we have the Eibach springs here and the stock springs on the left. So Eibach springs, it's supposed to lower it down about 1 inch. That's why it is slightly smaller than the stock one, and it's a lot more springier, it looks like, if that's even a term. But yeah, let's go ahead and install this. We're gonna take all the hardware from the stock spring and put it on the Eibach spring. One important thing to note is that there are 2 little holes located on the bottom of your rear control arm. I'm about to show you guys right here, actually. So if we were to look underneath, I'm gonna go over here, you can see there are 2 little holes right there, 1 and 2. So I inserted the little rubber pieces that you put on the bottom of the springs, so that it can go into place. So that's what I've pretty much done so far. The only thing that needs to be done, since we removed this earlier, we now have to put this back on. The springs are on, and then we have to put the bolt on right here. Now, the hard part is getting this little guy. There's this piece right here which you can move around. You have to get it aligned with this hole. And then you're gonna grab a hammer. It's better if you grab a mallet so that you won't do any damage. And just hammer up. See, now it's still not aligned, so it needs to go towards the right a little bit. That hole, I believe we can now insert this piece. This is so much harder because we don't have a lift. The last time I did this, I did it on a lift and it was so much easier. I'm gonna get some anti-seize or anti-seize, however you want to call it, and I'm gonna just put a little bit on the bolt. You just want to put a little bit on. You can go ahead and, you know, insert the bolt, make sure that it's aligned. This is a 12mm socket. All right, so finally got the springs in along with all the bolts. I put anti-seize on both of the bolts. It was a tight fit, but what I did was I used a hammer to hammer this in place. I then used a long screwdriver so that I can get the holes aligned. It was a pain in the ass, but I got it done. And then I tightened this. So now I have the Eibach springs installed on the car. It's nice and tight. And everything is put back together. All I need to do is pretty much just go on the other side, do the same thing. And then once I'm done, put the wheel back on and we're good to go for the rear, at least. And that's only the easy part. The more harder part is up front, where we need to take off the whole entire strut tower. The rear is officially done. Oh, that was such a workout. But yeah, these are pretty much nice and tight. The springs are in. So what's left to do is install the wheels back on, and then we're gonna take the jacks off the car, and we're done with the rear. Now the challenging part is now the front. All right, guys, so fast forward. I couldn't get the front springs off myself because I had such a hard time. It's a lot easier if you have a lift, but with me only using floor jacks and a bunch of jack stands, it made it so much harder for me to take the strut tower off of this car and get access to the springs. So what I did was I took it to a shop and the shop people did it. So it lowered the car about an inch on each side. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the results. Like I said, I don't want to go too low because, you know, we're in Pittsburgh and it's a bunch of hills, a bunch of bumps, and it snows a lot here. So those are the three reasons why I didn't want to lower this. Also, my driveway is very steep. So if this car was lowered more, then it's going to have a hard time getting in and out of the driveway. With this current setup, it scrapes, but not as bad. It just touches the bottom part of the lip over there. And I feel like this is the perfect setup for me anyways. It could be different for you guys if you live in a flat state. Obviously, again, Pittsburgh is such a hilly... Nice. Thanks, Max. Like I said, Pittsburgh is such a hilly area, so I'm not able to lower this car even more. It might be a little bit windy, so I do apologize for the microphone quality. But as you can see, I have the wheel turned, and like I can barely get a finger in there. It's like half a finger almost. But I'm able to turn my wheel all the way, so there's no issues there. And then if we go on the rear, this is what it looks like. This is about 1.5. Now I did drive this car probably 5,000 miles on it, because I did install the springs all the way back in August. And like I just showed you, I was only able to fit a finger on the front and then a finger on the rear. So really happy with the final results. I don't know if this matters, but this is what it looks like from the rear. Got the tires right there. It is sort of low. I can maybe fit my whole hand until it touches the road. Going over to the front. I barely fit my hand. I can go like this, and then it'll be touching the road. I should have got my measuring tape. That way we could measure exactly how low this car is, but I'll probably do that in a future video if I get requests from you guys. But overall, I mean, it's worth it. Like I said, just be careful going over bumps, or if you live in a hilly area, you might want to angle your car a little bit. That way it won't scrape. But other than that, mostly no issues, and I highly recommend these springs, as well as downgrading or downsizing your wheels, because I think 20s are a little bit too big. You can go with 19s. I went with 18s. For the most part, I think they're fine. Sometimes I do think they're a little bit small. So I think 19, it might be the perfect size for this car. But that's just my personal opinion. 18s are all right. That's why I picked 18s, because not only that, the tires are cheaper. A lot more tires you can choose from using 18-inch wheels. So yeah. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below what you guys think of this video, or if you have the same car or even the FK7, let me know what lowering springs that you guys have and what kind of wheels that you have. Anyways, I better get inside. It's really cold. Look at my fingers. They're like frozen. They're red. Oh my god, look at these hands. I hate the winter. Man, it looks like I have like freaking 80-year-old hands. Look at that. Sheesh. Whew, it's cold out. I forgot to greet you guys a happy new year, because I didn't make a video that week because I was busy. So I am back on the channel making videos weekly of the Type R and Accord now, because I now have an Accord to play around with, and a lot of you guys have been commenting that I should be making more videos on the Accord. So more videos on the Accord on the channel soon to come. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. This is Chris Time. Peace out. 3.